Was there a part of you that was like, this would be such a great musical? Were you ever thinking?
No, I was just trying to write a movie because I had never done it before, and I was foolishly chose to adapt a non-fiction book. I was like, there's no story in this book. I'm an idiot. So I was just trying to write a script and get it made, and so it wasn't until years later that people started approaching me like, we'd like to make that into a musical, and I was like, I don't own it, but. If anyone's going to do it, it will be me.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
You didn't really rely on social media to draw the story.
Yeah, I didn't want to rely on it because one, we were opening a couple years after Evan Hansen, and that they kind of owned that space. And also, I felt like it's hard to make that dramatic, So we do use it for comedy and for story a little bit, but I really felt like the core of the show is human interaction.
Have you rewritten or had to tweak the show as it's been going on? Because it's set in the teen world and teen stuff changes so fast. Language changes.
Yes, yeah, I always thought, even with the movie, I was like, I'm gonna make up some slang because I know it'll change before the movie even comes out, and that's kind of where fetch came from. And so I think we've been okay. We haven't had to change. It's weird, there's some random jokes that in the musical that kind of came back on their own. There was
they were retro for a minute, and
then they kind of came back. There was a Neil deGrasse Tyson joke, and there was a sports joke that I can't that Aaron has that they was funny because they were such theater nerds. There was some reference to
God, they had to talk about football and they didn't know it.
No, God, what was that? I can't remember. Is he talking about LeBron or something where and then all of a sudden there was a story and that they got a huge response one night, and because they're all theater nerds, they were like, what, did something happen in sports?
Sports? Yeah. Has there been anything where you're like, we might have to tweak that because it's becoming a little problematic now?
There was this one joke where Katie's lying to her parents and saying I can't go with you this weekend because my friend's having her art show, and we went through 4 jokes because the man referenced in the joke just kept getting Me Too'd. It was like, honey, you love Garrison Keillor. Gone. Honey, you love Neil deGrasse Tyson. Gone. I feel like there may even been a third where I was just
Bill Cosby.
Wasn't
honoring your Philly roots.
But it was, and I remember the night that we were in Washington when the Garrison Keillor story broke, and Carrie Butler, who played Mrs. Heron at the time, she's like, should we change it? And I was like, let's leave it in one night and see what happens. Yeah. And people were like, oh.
Oh, damn. Well, it was Washington, too. It was his town, basically. Yeah.
It was a fun.